Welcome to IFeel the podcast with your host Dwayne Washington. I was born and raised with my family, my mom, my daddy Ronnie, my other daddy Dwayne, and my brother Quincy. I grew up in the 90s and 2000s surrounded by nothing but friends and family in the tight-knit community of Cartersville, Georgia. After graduation, I attended Savannah State University where I loved to party and experiment with a lot of drugs. I was even homeless for a point in time in my life. But that was then, and this is now. I'm growing and evolving into a better person each and every day. And with that, I would like to say welcome to Season 2 of I Feel the Podcast. Today's guest on I Feel the Podcast is Jabriel Lafrance Johnson. I met Jabriel while visiting the country of Panama with my cousin Delena, and we were walking down the cobblestone streets of the local shopping area, and we ran into his studio, which is open to the public, and his works instantly caught my attention. I even got Jabriel to create a quick sketch of me so I could bring home some art, so I could bring some art back home. Jabriel's art is politically driven and casts a focus on how the moral and integrity of humanity is basically all but erased. Jabriel is a fine artist, and I present to you Jabriel Lafrance Johnson. How's it going, Jabriel?
How are you? Thank you for the invitation.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. I thank you for accepting the invitation. And we're just going to dig right on in and get started. Now, Jabriel, if you could just explain to the audience, how did your art career begin, and what got you started in art, sir?
Yes, I think like we all start full of blessings from God, talent, and as a white canvas, ready to experiment life and everything. So my beginning, music. I went to music school, primary school, secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, I used to draw all the time. I used to watch the TV with a book, sketchpad always. After music, I start academy art. 4 years in Panama, in Cuba, and then after finishing school, I had this dream about carry my art all over the world and see museums and art galleries in different part of the world, and also get away from the situation in Cuba, dictatorship. Long time ago, inside the same problem, bad communism, and then experiment also this problem too. And I was ready to publicate something about my art. Always this problem between about censorship and stuff like that.
Right.
All these things make me feel very strong. These feelings about go out of the country, and well, here I am, and I'm inside my dreams in a particular way because I'm in Panama. I have more hope, more possibilities. So this is the place where we met, yeah, right?
Right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So you said that you are originally from Cuba. So and you wanted to get away from the dictatorship or whatever. So I guess how was life in Cuba up until was it as was the dictatorship as bad as we think it is before you moved to Panama?
Yes, the reason why people want to leave the country because no freedom or less freedom, absolute freedom doesn't exist, you know. But
Yes,
we
sir.
have this concept. We have this concept to have like a objective in life to move to a better area, a better concept, mentality, philosophy. You know, it's a very interesting word and also transcendental for
Right.
humankind. And then yeah, there's many problems in Cuba. So uh, it's a country with beautiful people, beautiful culture. We have some good influence from Spain, Africa, U.S. You know, we are in the middle of the Caribbean.
Right.
But the government used to be the dictator man Fidel Castro. He copied from Russia that communism, and just like the same example of other big fragments of the history in the different countries. You know, we're talking about Russia, you know, uh,
Right.
Germany, some countries in Europe, China. Then we have the same consequence, you know, the same consequence
Right.
of poverty, control for everything, no privacy, your property, all these things so important for anybody.
Right.
Then it's not possible to enjoy, you know, even half, you know, of
Right.
these things in Cuba.
Right.
So that's why a lot of people move from countries like that to countries where people have more possibilities, you know.
Right.
I never I never think in my country, oh, I will go to other place and I will be in a paradise, you know. But just a country with more freedom. That's what I'm looking for.
Yes, sir.
Um, and that's the situation all over the world right now. There's so much struggles about migrants and stuff like that because
And
people want to see places better than the one they have.
yes, sir. And the reason why I asked that question is because as an American, uh, you know, Americans travel to Cuba more or less for a vacation, and we go and and we see different parts of the island or whatever, and it's a vacation for us, but for you guys, it's a way of life, and
Right,
it's like we go and visit and we see the sights and we come back home, to our jobs and our, I'm not gonna say cushy living, but our way of living, but then in Cuba, the life is when you actually live there, the life is totally different. So I just wanted to know, you know, the main why do people want to leave Cuba when we go there? It seems like it's a vacation spot for us.
yes, I think uh, my impression is like people out of Cuba or places like Cuba cannot understand very well uh, how bad to be, you know, to be controlled every day. How bad to be just to work for a government and not to
Right,
work for your family, for you know. So um, sometimes I think I have this uh, responsibility to speak about it
right,
because it's where I'm coming from. Not all my work, but sometimes my work I want to touch and I want to show the people that why I feel why I criticize this kind of system so bad. But um, in general, it's hard sometimes to understand uh, somebody else experience, as a
Right.
human,
That's true.
as
That's true.
somebody else like psychology, even if you have it close to you.
Right.
We are humans, so limited by our own uh, possibilities to understand things,
Yes,
in
sir.
a philosophical way. That's why we're good to open spaces like this to develop our mentality, to study more, to analyze more our ambition, because
Yes, sir.
every day uh, we I think we have that responsibility. Just like the same way we need to go to exercise our muscles and walk around to see the nature and interact, with there is so many points, to
Right.
take in consideration to be human because uh, from the moment we born, there is a process,
Right. And
a long process to get to the point to understand something in this life.
right. All right. Now, for the listening audience out there, Gabriel's artwork is very politically charged, and so Gabriel, what drives your passion to create such politically charged art pieces?
Basically, because the place where I coming from, uh, if you are trying to live and something is bother you, that's how I can
Hmm.
say it. Something
Right.
is in the middle of your steps every day, then you become, you know, you we need to react.
Right.
Sometimes a reaction. But out of Cuba, I watched my own art and how I used to be uh, in the island as an artist. I
Hmm.
now I can see more than a political artist. I like to just just to enjoy sometimes to draw something different, like
Right.
maybe a tree or something like far away from the circle of hate I used to be. Because my
Okay.
mother used to tell me, you hate the government, you hate the system. And for artists, we need to understand that art to be also a exercise, a way to exercise our freedom and our mind to
Okay.
be free from circles, mental circles that keep ourselves down or in a particular uh, uh, battles, in a particular field. Forget everything else and all the beauty we have surrounded,
Right.
surrounded to appreciate it. And also, that's part of uh, the energy we need to
Yes,
face
sir.
problems today. Today, all right.
All right.
This
So,
is
mhm.
another aspect I want to see
Okay.
of different palettes and colors. Remind me I'm alive. Not
Yes,
only
sir.
uh, um this drama sometimes keep ourselves far away from enjoy all the things we really need to get balance,
Right.
balance
Right.
our
Right.
life.
So, where do you get your inspiration? So do you get your inspiration for your art pieces from like just normal everyday life and just seeing the beauty around you in Panama now?
Yes, I think I'm I'm glad I'm 10 years I have in Panama. From
Uh huh.
2007, I leave my country. I and For me, it's like a process to learn, you know,
Mm-hmm.
out of my island, how big it could be, uh, trying to see the big picture, you know,
Yes, sir.
not only art but other aspect of life. I want to develop myself on that way, and then my art is going to be my vision as an artist is going to be in a different area. Uh, I like, for example, uh, to see my art something very connected to the spirit or to our time.
Yes, sir.
And at the future, maybe 50 years in the future, somebody can see my pieces and remember a particular moment. But also, I want to celebrate for art sometimes uh, things that really, for example, I used to do music a long time ago. And sometimes I draw about music. I would like to enjoy art in that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, I have this line of commercial pieces I do for people that ask me for commissions, and then I
Okay.
can to from Panama to other country. And at that time, I tried to study, for example, colors, because every painting, every different work is an opportunity for me to investigate about. And it's
Okay.
a beautiful profession for that reason, because I can, uh, I want to develop myself as an intellectual, um, not only draw creative things, and so to be inside a circle of mentality. That is one thing I see in this context of art. You know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I see a title of a movie,
Uh-huh.
and it's so evident, and it's so because it's like trying to point your brain to a particular far away from poetry and far away from the possibility we have to interpret and use our imagination.
Yes.
This this example of titles that want to already want you already to believe something or stuff like that.
Right.
Uh, it's good to. Oh, I, but, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yes, it's good for me to increase uh, uh, and work on the way to develop this language. No,
Yes, sir.
art is a language to develop far
Uh-huh.
away from politics, from
Right.
ideologies. You know,
Yes, sir.
very important for our my generation right now, because look like uh, there is uniforms today to produce movies, uniforms to produce paintings, or I don't know. I want to get far away from that, and I want to encourage people to think about this beautiful language we have that connect people all over the world, far away from a particular local language,
Yes,
art
sir.
as a language of communication and understanding of uh, transcendental things that we all want to to communicate, you know, to young generations. We want to learn from the history too, and
Right.
then I'm very uh, I have like this kind of observation today about
Mm-hmm.
what is happening. There is like a priority for me, you know, as an artist, you know, to exercise my creativity,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes uniforms can destroy that priority. Uh,
Right.
we, uh, we don't want, we want as a civilization to go forward, to develop our society, our mentality. Uh, that's a particular observation I have.
Okay. All right. So how do you stay? Um, how do you stay creative, or how do you stay disciplined when you lack motivation? I know you as a human, we all get unmotivated, or we have times where we don't feel like working. How do you motivate yourself to keep working when you don't feel like it, and keep the discipline?
I think uh, um, I think it's very natural. For example, I would like to create a new. Always, I have this objective in my life. I would like to create a new artwork,
Mm-hmm.
something with a few aspects. For example, originality. I want
Mm-hmm.
to connect my art with the time I'm experimenting. I have a few objectives that really uh, coming with me from a long time ago.
Right.
Uh, every every time the history bring new challenge,
Right.
Then as people interested about intellectual things should be uh, motivated to see what's to catch, what is happening, how to grow up, in the middle of this time. It's a challenge,
Right.
it's part of the essence of life. We as a human, we have brain to the same way we like to go to nice cities to see nice um, days in our life. There is a part of our spirit that really need to see new ideas.
Right.
It's like hungry to see. Oh, look at this! Even new ideas that somebody else is producing. You
Right.
know, you will celebrate it too because you are watching uh, somebody who is searching too, and it's part of this kind of uh, historical movement or what we call civilization.
Right. Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
not. It's something bigger than us. Something that something bigger than somebody in particular.
Right.
It's uh, a big point that coming from a long time ago, and we are blessed to be part of that. Uh, there is many ways to interpret this energy and communicate it. I
Right.
just come out with this one. Eh,
Okay.
I think uh, for me that's part of life. You don't have to be. Uh, you don't have to push yourself. Sometimes if you feel like your body want to, your body or your mind don't have a great idea. You know,
Right.
because once you are on the line of searching, reading, interacting with society, something coming up suddenly.
Right.
Uh, but it's about no, it's like a chemic that we um, should be ready for
Right.
that moment of bang.
Right.
illumination. Some people call it, right.
Yes, sir.
Um, I think uh, we have days right now. There is a big protest right now in Panama.
Uh-huh.
Um, I staying home yesterday and today. I was supposed to do something at the studio. I didn't go,
Right.
but I remember also uh, well the time of COVID pandemic,
Uh-huh.
and look at how everything changed after, because we as a human we have this energy to change this
Right.
situation,
Yes, sir.
and now a lot of people want to travel, a lot of people want to see other countries. That's part of our spirit, it's
Yes, sir.
very not natural.
All right. All right.
Yes.
So, um, who are some of your favorite artists? What artists inspire you? And yeah, what who are your favorite artists that you look up to?
I think when I was at the school and I got history art at the school,
Okay.
I remember many names, that I think all of them really, uh, all of them, they are part of my, of what I do. Influence as an influence.
Uh-huh.
I had a professor,
Uh-huh.
a teacher, uh, Roberto Jimenez, my island, Jordan, uh, um, so many good artists I really uh, remember, inspired me. And well, always we think about the classic artists, and Picasso, Monet,
Right.
uh, Da Vinci, Leonardo, all of them at the history have a particular uh, improvement, to bring to the history art.
Yes, sir.
Uh, it's my turn to be and try to stand up in my time,
Right.
to
So
appreciate to appreciate in life what they do, what they did.
yes, sir.
Yes.
Gotcha. I understand. All right. So how how is the art scene in Panama? Is are the arts greatly appreciated in Panama? Are people do they appreciate your work and the work of art and the work of other artists?
I really I'm watching like in the last year is getting better.
Okay.
This this particular activity between the young people, more art galleries, more places.
Mm-hmm.
I think the country is in as a cultural place
Mm-hmm.
is going to keep growing up.
Okay.
Many uh, I see more studio art studio. It's not a country like a big country like Europe, US, with history art.
Right.
Where children from the school have this
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to go to big museums, and they know already. I don't know who is Jackson Pollock or who is Rocco, who is um, and it's not a country where people is very familiar with all these things.
Right.
But I hope it's going to keep growing up this activity, this interaction between uh, artists and society. It's very important because this point about creativity, uh, art as a as a uh, point motivation for create new things could be very interesting for many different aspects in life, no?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
another day with more creativity is a better day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, one day you wake up and say, "Oh, I'm going to do my postcard." I don't know,
Right,
on top of the ceiling.
right.
Watching I'm going to point the camera to the tree, so whatever, God
Yes, sir.
always is going to bring a different level of understanding for for your postcard, and maybe
Yes, sir.
somebody else is going to copy your idea.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Art is important for many reasons. I'm trying to bring more art to Panama.
Okay. All right. So, um, where where do you see your art progressing? Where do you see yourself as an artist in the next 5 years?
Right now, I'm not sure, but I'm working basically to make an exhibition.
Hmm.
I don't know when and where, but I have this faith, to keep working. That's
Uh-huh.
why some people tell me, "Oh, you have so many big pieces in your studio," but I think it's for that reason. Just
Right.
working for at the future. I bring my art to a big country, maybe US. I don't know. I have a
Right.
friend from Maryland. He's supposed to come soon,
Okay.
and also talking to other people, maybe to bring my art and make an exhibition.
Yes, sir.
Um, but um, I don't know exactly. Right
Okay.
now, just really happy with what is happening. I'm selling
Right.
sometimes my own personal work, something that really uh, it's important. For when you not only sell commercial paintings and or
Hmm.
also produce commercial paintings, but working on my personal work also is very important for me.
Okay. All right. So, at the end of the day, when all is said and done, and how would you like? What is the legacy that you would like to leave the world as far as you personally and your artwork? What would you like to leave the world as your legacy?
But I would like to, well, so it's many different aspects. I want, I have been, if I take a look to my own work
Hmm.
aspects like creativity, freedom, uh, this sense to enjoy life, show what you do, what you love to do.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to uh, to activate in my life all these things uh, every day. That's one of the reasons why I go out to society and interact. To
Yes,
communicate
sir.
all these values. Yes.
I understand. Okay, okay. Well, Jabriel, I appreciate you and I thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I like I said, I bought when I met you. I got a piece. Well, I got you to sketch me or whatever, and I got a piece of artwork from you. And then your studio is so amazing. And yes, you do have big, beautiful, colorful pieces. And I encourage everyone who's listening or everyone who's watching, if you happen to visit Panama City, please try to look up Jabriel Lafrance Johnson. He has a studio in what section of Panama is your studio located, sir?
Yes, Panama City, the old town. We call it Casco Viejo.
Casco Viejo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember that.
Small area with history. A very quiet place to visit.
Right.
Very nice.
Yeah, so if everyone watching and if you're watching whatever, yes, if you happen to visit Panama City, please make it down to Casco Viejo to Jabriel's studio, and you can see and witness some of his fine artworks that he has for sale. And also, if you want him to create do something for you, you can talk with him, and he can be able to get a piece to you. And you are able to ship your pieces worldwide, right? Is that correct, sir?
I have on Instagram.
Yes.
Jabriel _Lafrance. Always I try to publicate all the paintings and
Okay.
process about my art. So welcome to see my art on Instagram.
All right.
For everybody.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jabriel, and I can hope you continue to have a great rest of your day, sir. And I'm gonna put all of your information in the description box of the video.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir, and I hope you have a great day.
That's a blessing.
Yes, sir. Bye. Welcome to I Feel the Podcast with your host, Dwayne Washington. I was born and raised with my family, my mom, my daddy Ronnie, my other daddy Dwayne, and my brother Quincy. I grew up in the 90s and 2000s surrounded by nothing but friends and family in the tight-knit community of Cartersville, Georgia. After graduation, I attended Savannah State University where I loved to party and experiment with a lot of drugs. I was even homeless for a point in time in my life. But that was then, and this is now. I'm growing and evolving into a better person each and every day. And with that, I would like to say welcome to Season 2 of I Feel the Podcast.